guys, my name is Maddie, or Books with Maddie, and today I'm showing you the new Deck of TBR Rules. Okay, it's happening. There are new Deck of TBR Rules. Surprise. No one is surprised I said I was doing this. Okay, for context of this video, number one, if you don't know what Deck of TBR is, you're going to be very confused. I will have a playlist linked below which has all of the Deck of TBR videos in it, so you can watch those and get informed of what's going on. But Deck of TBR is basically a game that I play every month in order to pick my TBR, so what books I'm going to be reading in that month. And I use a deck of cards and a big poster board thing, and I pick cards that go along with things on the poster board, and that's how I get the books I'm going to read. However, since September, the game has been a little bit wild, and while each month I'm supposed to only be picking 6 books total, in a series of events and just bad luck, I've been getting like between 15 and 20 books a month that I'm supposed to be reading. Obviously, this is not doable, and many people have been saying that I need to change some things. So here's that video of me changing it. I want to put a disclaimer. I'm upset that I have to change the rules, because the thing is, as I've said many a time, the rules, let's say it together, the rules aren't the problem, okay? Because there are people, statisticians, math people, who come to my videos and are like, listen, you should not be mathematically, logically getting this many doubles or triples in a row in your deck, in your picking. So I don't know what's going on. In conclusion, I'm making new rules because something is going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't care anymore. It is what it is, and I'm letting it go. I'm angry, but it's fine. Okay, so basically, I'm going to be going over the new rules today. I'm not going to be showing the board because that is currently under construction. Oh, also, new angle. This way, I'm facing my window so the lighting is better. Also, I got bangs. I cut them on my bedroom floor at midnight. So they might be bad, but we're not going to talk about it. New rules, deck of board thing. Board of TBR. Deck of board is under construction, okay? Board, what should I call that? Trifold of TBR? TBR trifold, something like that. I don't know, somebody come up with a better name. I just also want to point out really quickly that I want to thank everybody who's been supporting these videos, because honestly, one of the videos got like 2,000 views, and that is absolutely wild, because the energy that I emit when I am filming a video is like 20 subscriber energy. Like, I still act as if I'm just doing this for 20 people, and I feel like I need to change that because, like, clearly things have changed. Thank you for all of the support so much, because that is actually wild. We're almost at 700 subscribers, and that is beyond anything I can comprehend. So thank you, and thank you to all the people who were like really kind, and they were like, please don't do this to yourself, like, we want to see you enjoying reading, like, you don't have to do this, because I kind of did feel like an obligation, like, oh, maybe it won't be entertaining if I don't do this anymore, yada yada. Not for my own mental health's sake, no. And thank you for everybody who like was genuinely concerned about my mental health. I am okay. I did give myself a break, and I did not drive myself into madness. Is that statement true? That's questionable. But either way, with that said, we are going to go into the new rules, Deck of TBR. They are malleable, they are subject to change, they are not concrete. So could change, I don't know. These are, obviously with any rules that I make for Deck of TBR, they are completely subject to the will of the deck. So anything could happen. I could get, like with last time, like, it shouldn't have mathematically happened, but it continued to happen with doubles and triples and whatever. So I've made very specific punishments that are less likely to occur, but they could occur over and over again, and I might have to change it again. We don't know. So in conclusion, this right now is how I will be entering January's TBR, and that's what's happening. I also want to note that December's TBR will not spill over into January. I am starting with a clean, fresh slate, new rules, better TBR board, better times. I still have the same 2 decks that have never done me well before, but we're just running with it because I, for some reason, have not prioritized getting a new deck, and I refuse to. So basically, here are the new rules. We're starting off with a cap, which was like the #1 suggestion. By the way, I read every single suggestion. I want to point it out. I thank you all for your suggestions. I read every single one. They were extremely helpful. Thank you. Okay, cap was the #1 suggestion. I am putting a cap on the number of books that I can receive in a month. 10 is the cap. So once I pick 10 cards, once I get 10 books, no more. I am capping it at 10. This will allow me to read books that I want to read, new releases, if they don't get into the TBR, arcs that I receive, anything like that. I'm doing that so that I can do that. Now, you might be asking, what happens if, let's say, a rapid succession of punishments or whatever, and you have to pick more than 10? I will still pick those 10 cards, and then if I have to pick more, I will combine the prompts, okay? Listen to this idea. Are you ready? I feel like somebody might have suggested this, but I can't remember. Okay, so let's say I've reached 10, but I have 2 more to go, okay? I have to pick 2 more cards. So let's say I get a 6 of diamonds and an 8 of hearts, okay? I would pick these 2 cards and I would combine them. Wait, that doesn't work because that would still be 11. Okay, new plan. Sorry, I said that wrong. Let's say, let's say I'm on my 10th draw, but I'm supposed to pick 2 more for whatever reason, okay? On my 10th draw, or I guess on my 9th draw, let's say I pick an 8 of hearts. The next card that I draw, I will have to combine those prompts, okay? So this is my 9th draw. I pick another one. Let's say I get a 6 of hearts. I combine them, and this is my 9th book. So let's say 8 of hearts, that's genre, so that would maybe be contemporary. And then 6 of diamonds is physical aspect. So let's say that's a more than 3-word title or something like that. I would then have to pick a contemporary with a more than 3-word title. That's how it works. Then, if I have to pick another card, but let's say I still have another draw, on my 10th draw, I will pick the next one, and then, well, obviously face cards wouldn't work because of how the deck works, but let's say then I would pick this card, and let's say this is a prompt card, so let's say this is a book with more than one author, and this one is like Twitter poll or something, so I would do a Twitter poll of books that have more than one author. Boom. Okay? That's how that will work if I get more than 10 draws in a game. That way it will retain the cap, but still keep things spicy and interesting. And it'll still be like a bit of a challenge, so it'll be like kind of interesting, you know, because I'll have to then get more and more specific, and I might have to, you know, change books at some points. So yeah, I'm also allowing that. I don't know if I established that. I feel like that was kind of established in the game, that like I'm willing to like rearrange books and stuff like that just to make it a little bit easier. Okay, next new rule. So the next one is the number of punishment books that will transfer over into next month. So how I've done it before is if I don't finish a book in a month, then that number of books transfers into next month. So let's say I have 7 books that I'm supposed to read in a month. I don't read 2 of them, then I would pick 2 more draws in the next month. And that's just to try to keep me on track, you know, achieving my reading goals and different challenges and stuff like that. And that's actually very helpful. I saw a lot of people saying, oh, don't transfer books to the next month, but that actually helped me keep on track and stuff. So yeah, I do want to retain that element, but I saw a lot of suggestions saying to do +1 book for every 2 unread. So let's say I was 7 books in a month, I didn't read 2 of them, that would only mean 1 in the next month. And yeah, I think I'm going to adopt that because that actually is really helpful for decreasing the number of punishments in the next month. I don't know, that was hard for me to say. But the next month, I would reduce the number of punishments. Obviously, the number of draws I have to do. But if it's just like 1 book, if I don't finish 1 book, I'm not going to do like half a book. I'm going to like just transfer the next book. So I'm going to transfer that one. So, okay, it's fine. I feel like you understand. Okay, the next new thing is the ACE prompt, which I am naming the shuffle prompt. So this is really exciting. I'm very excited about this idea. So as you know, face cards or letter cards or whatever you want to call them, so basically Jack, Queen, King, and Ace are all constant prompts, so those never change. So Jack is always TBR jar, Queen is always random number generator, and King is always color cover prompt. Ace used to be, which by the way, we have never ever gotten an ace for some reason, but aces mean I would, in the past, pick a book of the same genre as the last book that I completed. So for example, if the last book that I completed was Divergent, then I would pick another dystopian. Okay? I've never gotten an ace before, that has never happened, but it will happen now because of this new rule. So I will not be shuffling the deck in the future. I will put cards at the bottom or in a separate pile or something. I will not be shuffling them back in. So that eliminates the possibility of getting the same card twice in a row or at all in the thing. That eliminates that possibility. That will no longer happen. You're just probably asking yourself, well, then all the punishments are gone. You're right. That's fine with me. Yes and no. All of the old rules are basically out the window, okay? However, the ace card is the shuffle card. If I pick an ace, I will take the cards that are not in the deck, so that haven't been shuffled, I will shuffle them back in. Technically, yes, some of the old rules will apply. For example, getting two of the same card in a game, in a single month's game, which is basically impossible to happen. Yeah, that would still, yeah, okay, so how that would possibly happen is if I got an ace, I would have to obviously shuffle the cards back in, and then if I were to somehow pick the same card twice in that game, which is extremely unlikely, then I would, I guess, have to add a draw, which very unlikely. Feel like that probably won't happen, but if it does, that would be what I would do. None of the other rules, the 3 thing, I mean, I've evolved those rules, so I've built on them. We'll get to that in a second. So that is what the ace will do now. There is now another rule called, now this is, I feel like we're getting into complicated territory here, okay? This is a little bit complicated. There is a new rule called the 3-strike rule. So instead of picking a new card every time I get a punishment, I'm doing 3 strikes and then I get a punishment, okay? Which will reduce the number of books I have to pick, but will continue to emphasize the times that things shouldn't happen and they do. Okay, what counts as a strike, you might be asking? And I get 3 of the same number, which this is unlikely for multiple reasons. Number 1, because I'm taking cards out. So once I get, like, let's say a 2, that 2 of hearts or whatever will no longer be in the deck. So instead of there being a 4 in 52 chance that I get a 2, there will be a 3 in 52 chance that I get a 2. Actually, it will technically be 3 in 51 chance. Is that the same as 4 in 52? Is that the same number? I'm not a mathematician. I feel personally like that will reduce my chances of getting a 2. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. And 2 of the same number in a row, I'm keeping that rule. So if I pick a 7 of diamonds, then a 7 of hearts, I mean, that's just pretty unlikely, so I'm keeping that rule. And that was like the first rule that I ever established, so for some reason there's nostalgia attached to it, and I'm keeping that rule. I feel like that is the punishments that I've established at this point. If anything else weird happens, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there, because I can't think of every single possibility that can possibly happen. I am crossing bridges when I get to them. These are what I've accounted for, but obviously, like I said, when I get 3 of the same number, 2 of the same number, it's not an immediate punishment, it is a strike. And, strikes carry over months, okay? So if these things happen, I will write down strike, and they will carry over to the next month. So they don't just stay in that month. Unless that gets out of control, which is possible, then we will also cross that bridge when we get there. I feel like that basically covers most of what I'm saying. The other thing that I forgot about, I was supposed to say this in the beginning, is that I will be starting each month with drawing 5 things instead of 6. So how it was always in the past was just I start off each month with 6 draws. And in the future now, I will be doing 5 draws instead of 6, because that's just more reasonable for me, especially with school and stuff. Obviously, I won't be in school in January, but for the other, 3 months after that, I will be. So yeah, that is just easier for me to do that way. But yeah, I think that is everything that I wanted to add. I will be revealing the new board in the January's Deck of TBR video, so keep an eye out for that. And then in addition, I just wanted to mention this again, and I talk a little bit more about this in my channel update reading plan for the rest of the year video, which I will have in the card. I think it's this side. I'm committing to this side. I think it's this side. And actually, now that I think about it, it might be, it doesn't matter. Whichever, you'll see it. So January is entirely on my channel dedicated to 2020. So I will be doing my 2020 favorites, my 2020 least favorites, my 2020 most disappointed, my 2020 most surprising. I will wrap up my Pop Sugar Challenge, my Alphabet Challenge, all in January, and then I will have a couple videos about 2021 reading plans and stuff like that, just because I'm still trying to finish 6 books before the end of this year, so I don't want to do like my favorites of 2020 if I haven't finished those books yet, because there are some potential that could be in my favorites and stuff like that. So yeah, so January will be basically dedicated to 2020 and all of the things that I happened in 2020. So keep an eye out for that. I'm very excited. I have some really exciting things, new challenges and stuff like that I'm going to be doing in 2021. Keep an eye out for all of that and everything. But with that said, I believe that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any more suggestions for Deck of TBR, any comments, questions, anything. I will always be reading through the comments. Let me know what you think of the new rules and everything. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. And I hope you have a great life. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.